My girlfriend Alice, 34, and I, 34 male, have been living together for 7 months. Although we're not married, we live in my house. We were discussing marriage options though. The issue is, as my parents are getting older and I had recently moved to the USA, I wanted them to remain together with me, and so they did. I offered to bring them here and they were agreeable to the idea, but I didn't want to leave them alone or just get a house for them like that, so I asked them to live with me. When Alice heard about this, she was against the idea. She said that I couldn't just invite someone else to live with us, and I told her that it wasn't just someone else, and that we were talking about my parents. She said she didn't want that and asked me why I was doing it. I told her, well, they are my parents and I want to look after them. I'm not asking you to do that either. She protested by saying that I valued my parents more than her and asked me just to get them an old age home or something. I lost my temper at that and told her to mind her own business and that it was against my values to just abandon my parents once they got old. It resulted in a full-blown argument, and in the end I told her, I get to decide who lives in my house, so don't interfere in my affairs. She's now sour with me and isn't talking to me, but I wonder whether I did anything wrong. Am I the idiot for telling my girlfriend that I get to decide who lives in my house? Edit, I told her about it to discuss it with her, in the sense that I let her know beforehand, so that she could prepare for it, and also get her opinion, but she was against it from the very beginning. But as they're my parents, I did not want her approval per se, if that makes it clearer, and no, she doesn't pay the rent. I wonder whether I did anything wrong in completely dismissing your girlfriend's feelings. Do you wonder about that? You are the idiot. It may be your house. That may give you the raw power to authorize your parents to stay, but your partner has wants, desires, needs and feelings too, and it would be a huge shock to suddenly go from living with a partner to living with them and their parents. You didn't even discuss it. You just decided you had the power to do it and did it. Then you basically told her to shut up when she voiced concern. It may very well end up with you living with your parents with no girlfriend in the picture. I'd certainly have serious doubts about committing to a future with someone whose attitude is that if they have the power to do something they want to do, then they're just going to do it, and I can screw myself. Also, if you're discussing marriage, it's about time you start viewing yourself and your partner as a unit, and if you share a living space, you both get a say in who lives there with the both of you. In marriage, this "it's my house so I make the decisions" isn't going to work, and in my opinion that shouldn't be your mindset when you're long-term enough to be discussing marriage. And who will be given the responsibility of caring for his parents? Always defaults to the woman. If the girlfriend has any sense, the marriage is now off the table and she's packing her stuff. She can get better than this idiot. He's not ready to be in a relationship. Those are my thoughts exactly. Of course I'm moving them into my house, and of course I expect you to take the majority burden for their care without considering your feelings or thoughts. We talked about marriage, so now I consider you chattel. Dude, she's gonna dump you and move out. You may not be wrong about deciding who can live in your house, but you're being an idiot about it and it will destroy your relationship. I have a preschooler with my ex. We had 75-25 until now 50-50, and I have full physical custody. She had twins with her fiancé at the beginning of this year, but then they broke up. I'm remarried as well. Ever since she had the twins, my daughter has become second, or I guess third, to her mom. She comes to my house unbathed with dirty clothes and no bag. She claims she's stressed with twins, I get it, and broke. I asked how she's broke when I pay her $1,200 a month in child support. She says one of her twins has medical issues, and the other requires a specific formula, and the money goes quickly with all their groceries. I told her that's not my concern, and the money she gets is plenty to have our daughter 3 weeks out of the month. I told her to put her ex on child support, and she said he left the country. I actually searched for him, and he's travelling through Australia. I asked my ex for an extra week then, and she agreed. Our custody is a court order, but I didn't feel the need to actually go to the court to modify it. A few months ago, after an argument when she missed pickup because it was supposedly too stressful to put her kids in the car, she threatened to increase my payments since I got a new promotion. I knew she was saying it to get me mad and wasn't going to actually do it, but I was angry and went ahead to file for full physical custody and got it. My child support was lowered to $600, which is ridiculous since she only gets her once a week now, which is now just one weekend. I'm asking if I'm an idiot because the pay cut is affecting her twin's life, and she's now in debt with insurance and prescription prices, and she's claiming I stole our daughter from her because she's poor. Many people we mutually know are saying I'm a petty idiot. The money wasn't hurting me, but it was the principle. I'm starting to feel bad now, though. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You didn't steal your daughter, and the change wasn't because your ex is poor. You took custody of your daughter because your ex was allowing your daughter to suffer. Everyone involved knows that even the $600 isn't being used for anything for your daughter. If her twins need more care, she should look into social benefits and pursue their father for support. Wait, the twins' father is off living his best life, and you're being accused of being a petty idiot for ensuring the courts acknowledge your payments for your child and your child only? I don't mean to be mean because I have my own kids, but those twins aren't yours. That's that. Stick to this and let her and her man figure out what they must do to get their act together. How the heck will people disregard Australian travel guy for his responsibilities? My best guess is Mom doesn't want to file against him, not that she can't. She's likely holding out that he'll return or she can win him back. Newsflash, if that was the case, the dude wouldn't have left, let alone left the country. Also, Australia is expensive. If he isn't working in Australia, depending on his visa, this would be legal, he would have to have a fair bit of money somewhere. He has money one way or another. Your daughter was dirty and neglected. You had to do the right thing for her. The mother almost always gets full custody, so clearly the judge saw a problem in whatever was going on there to award it to you. And honestly, there's no way she's going through $600 a weekend, so you're still paying for her other kids. You have full custody, my dude. She should be paying you child support. I've been with my husband for 8 years, and we just had our first and last baby a few months ago. He has hung out with his friends several times since he was born because his buddy lives right beside us. He's a damn good dad and an excellent provider for us. I didn't feel slighted when he would leave for a few hours to see his friends, and he often told me that when the time came that he would watch the baby himself. She is strictly breastfed, that I could go and do whatever I wanted for a night because I deserved it. I don't know how important that info is. Anyway, this year none of our family did anything for Thanksgiving, and we knew well in advance. But my friend was having a Friendsgiving and we opted to go to that. I knew drinking would be involved, so for 2 weeks straight I was pumping and getting baby girl used to a bottle so I could let loose. I'd pumped at least enough for 8 feedings. I ended up having my girlfriend over after dinner and I let my hair down. I had a bottle of wine between me and her. I was definitely feeling it. My husband had the baby the whole time, basically, but I was right there too. However, by the end of the night, he was acting irritated. I thought it was because I was too loud. I was pretty damn loud, not gonna lie, but the baby has zero issues sleeping through big noise, so she slept fine. I kept asking what was wrong and was met with an irritated nothing. Anyways, yesterday he finally made comments about it saying, yeah, we aren't having a repeat of that anytime soon. I asked what he meant and he said, it's way damn soon for you to be acting like that. Now I feel like an idiot. So, am I? Not the idiot. Wait, you had 2 or 2.5 glasses of wine and fun with a friend in your own house and your husband couldn't deal with the baby for a few hours? OP, please make this a routine ritual and preferably go out and hang out with your friends. Let the husband take care of the baby all alone. The only mistake here was staying in. But he's a good dad. He may be a provider, as in apparently bringing in money, but he can't even deal with an infant for a couple of hours while in their own house while she's home. Too soon to be acting like that. Not having a repeat of this. Nice. I love a good judgmental double standard. Total gem, this one. Don't forget Dad's generous offer every 5 months to babysit his own kids while Mom grabs a coffee with a friend for an hour. If my partner had told me it was too soon to be acting this way, acting what way? Having a couple of glasses of wine for the first time in a year and a half? And ordered there would be no repeat of this anytime soon, I swear all heck would have broken loose. He's not watching his baby, he's being a parent. He helped make the child, he's responsible for the child. Period. End of story. You have just as much a right to free time as he does. It's better for both of you and your child to learn that lesson now. You pre-planned in advance, you had everything organised. Don't let him gaslight you into thinking you are the issue. He is. I'm engaged to Matt. Matt was raised by a single mom, Tina. It was the first time Tina came to stay with us over Thanksgiving. I get there is some class difference. Tina worked mainly in restaurant and retail jobs to make ends meet. My mom is an engineer and my dad is a lawyer. Tina stayed on our couch and immediately tried to make me into this thrifty housewife for her son, although I'm currently making more than him as he's finishing his postgrad internship. It became hostile about things like our hand soap in the bathroom, kitchen towels and trash bags. We got into a major fight over them. I normally just use the trash bags that initially came with our trash can. I never really paid attention to the price, but she was mad at me after we returned from grocery shopping and I didn't get stovetop stuffing or mashed potatoes. She didn't like the grocery store I chose to get our mini Thanksgiving dinner. We went to our loft and she started yelling at me about how I didn't need to shop the way I do and that I needed to wise up with money and not waste her son's money. Again, I make 6 figures while her son is wrapping up his internship, but after that, he should match or exceed my pay in 2 years, so the price of milk and trash bags is not something I think of. I told her that. I don't know what happened, but she starts crying, saying about how horrible I am. I got angry at her, left her in the loft, and texted Matt about it. I went to stay overnight with my sister and her girlfriend who lives on the other side of the city. They were planning to come to our mini Thanksgiving. This is Wednesday night. Matt asked if we could now skip hosting because his mom is not in a good place and I upset her. They ate the turkey I would prepare and then made Matt rush to get stovetop stuffing and instant mashed potatoes. He dropped the overnight bag off at my sister's. Usually Matt and my sister have a good relationship, but she yelled at him. His mom left, but Matt thinks we should discuss finances. My whole family heard about what happened over trash bags and Matt cancelling Thanksgiving. My family is angry at him and his mom. My mom thinks I should cancel the engagement, but Matt and his mom think I'm awful for just leaving his mom crying in the apartment, and I acted like a snobby diva to her. Not the idiot, unless you're a hoarder hoarding jewels and designer clothes you never use. Buying nicer products for yourself when you work hard for a higher income isn't something she should shame you over. Are you in debt? Doesn't sound like it. I don't understand why she wasn't grateful for your use of higher quality ingredients if she's acclimated to discount foods. You're supposed to want better for your children. You're not supposed to destroy their holidays and their future marriage because you paid however times as much for ingredients from a different store than she would have. A stable person would have considered that a treat, not an insult. His mother has issues with another woman in her baby's life. How you run your household is none of her business, and the fact that Matt doesn't have your back is concerning. Marry that man and she will move in within 5 years, mark my words. It sounds like everyone is being a little too dramatic about this. You're not the first fiancé to have conflict with your mother-in-law, and he's not the first fiancé who's felt pulled in 2 directions. Calling off the engagement is absurd. You and Matt must discuss it together and figure out a way forward. However, everyone's the idiot here. His mother for being jealous of your lifestyle, and you for believing you have more class than her because you make more money. I don't think calling off the engagement is absurd. Matt's mom is under the impression that OP is spending Matt's money, and he didn't do anything to disabuse her of that notion. OP is being criticised for something that is objectively untrue. She's the primary breadwinner at the moment. A good fiancé does not let his precious mommy treat his future wife in such a way unless his balls are still in mommy's purse. Matt hasn't got the spine to stand up to his mom and wants to let OP remain her punching bag. That's more than enough cause to break the engagement and kick his butt out. I have 2 children, a nearly adult girl and a younger teen boy. Recently, my daughter showed me some comments that my son was making on some online posts with his friends. He was mocking female soccer players, saying they didn't know how to play and should return to the kitchen. In other posts, he commented that women only care about money and are only helpful for household chores. I was saddened and irritated by his behaviour. I've always tried to educate him to respect women. I confronted my son, and he said it was a joke, that he wasn't serious, and that was how his friends joked. He said I was overreacting and that I didn't understand the jokes. I didn't accept these excuses. I had a long conversation with him and decided to punish him. I took away his computer, cancelled the subscriptions to the online games he plays, and prohibited him from playing anything for a month. I also made him cut contact with his online friends. He tried to protest, but I stood firm. My husband agrees that our son was wrong, but thinks I was too harsh on him. He says I should have given him a chance to redeem himself, that he's just a teenager, that he'll grow and change. He thinks I should let him play at least on weekends, that he needs a hobby, that he doesn't have many friends. I don't think I'm overreacting. I believe he needs to understand that his actions have consequences. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, but this isn't addressing the behavior. You need to work to change his behavior, not just punish him. Keeping him from playing games and talking to those specific friends isn't changing the fact he thought this was okay to begin with. The thing is, she can't change his behavior or the way he thinks. She can talk to him all day. That doesn't mean anything will change. It's the one huge takeaway that I've gotten from therapy, and that alone has lowered my anxiety levels almost as much as the medication has. She can send a very clear message that it will not be tolerated in her home. If he goes to a friend's house, there's not much to be done. Some kids will just be idiots, and it doesn't help that it sounds like Dad is happy to let his son be one. Everyone has boundaries for their home. OP is simply setting one here. There will be no denigration of women in my home. You can't change someone's behavior is usually used with toxic relationships or abusive partners or parents, not with actual children. OP, it's time to sit down with your son. His brain is forming right now, and he needs to be educated on why this isn't cool. Here's a hobby. Do all the cleaning around the house, laundry, dishes, etc. I would scold the crap out of my kid for that type of behavior. It's not only disrespectful, but could also turn into an issue as he gets older.